So in last class, we have started this draw toolbar. We have seen this draw joint objects, how to draw a joint. So mostly we don't use this. Okay. So next is draw beam, column or brace objects. Okay, that is what we are going to see now. Draw beam or column or brace. Okay. So we're going to draw this beam, column, and there is no bracing here. Okay. So if you have bracings, you can draw the bracings using this option. Okay. So beam is like it's an horizontal member, right? And column is vertical member. Bracing is inclined member, right? So first, which one to draw first? Whether to draw beam or column or bracing. Okay. So first, always start with beam. First, draw the beam, draw all the beams, then column, then bracings, then you can draw slab, wall, etc. So this is the order. First, always start with beam. Okay. So now let us draw the beam. So this is draw tab. So we have completed define. Next, draw. Under draw beam, column or brace objects. So there are so many options, draw options. So draw beam, column or brace, quick draw. So these are all quick draw beams, columns, quick draw columns alone, quick draw secondary beam, quick draw braces. So these are all quick draw. So quick draw means if you just click this grid, it will just draw. Okay. So but don't use this quick draw option. Okay. So we have to use this draw beam, column or brace. Okay, you can draw a beam, column and bracing using this single option. Okay, it can be drawn in plan, elevation as well as in 3D. Okay, so don't use this quick draw. So why quick draw should not be used? Quick draw means you can quickly draw. That is one advantage, but it is like no, don't use it. So if you use quick draw, what is the problem in using quick draw? Supposing if you supposing I'm drawing using this quick draw option. So quick draw beam or column. So immediately if you give this no draw option, so the cursor is changed now, right? So there is two cursor. So this one is with long tail. This is draw cursor. Okay. So after clicking this, it will immediately open this properties of object box. Okay. So here it asks for different properties. Okay. So let me give. I will explain this later. So if I am giving some property which we have already defined it, if I am using some plinth beam 230 by 230 and I am just drawing this quick draw. So now the beam is drawn. Okay. So if you want to see the beam drawn, you can click in 3D view and you can, there is one option called rendered view. So under view, show rendered view. Okay. So it will show this beam, okay, which I have drawn now. Okay. So I have drawn the using the quick beam option, right? So if we use this quick beam option, it will draw wherever there is a grid. Okay. So supposing if I want the beam from this grid to this grid alone, okay. But if I click here, it will draw for the entire grid. Okay. So it will not consider from this grid to this grid. Okay. It will continuously draw wherever there is a grid. So sometimes where there is no beam, that time we need to delete it. Sometimes see this, no, I will show you the plan. So this is the plan which I using it. So from this end to this end, okay, this bedrooms, this is a single beam, okay, but there is a grid here because there is a partition here, so we have put a grid here, okay. So in that case, according to the plan, this is single beam, but if you click this, okay, I need to change the cursor. So if I'm selecting this beam, so it shows this beam I've selected, this is separate beam, and I'm selecting this, so this is a separate beam, so it shows like that, right? So this is separate one and this is separate one, right? But actually this is a single beam, okay. So in that case we have to know merges. So how to merge this? Select these two and you can go to edit, under edit frame and join frames, okay. This is the option to edit something. If you want to split or join, you can use this option. So under edit frames, join frames. So now it is joined, okay. I'm selecting this. If I select this dot line will appear. So I'm clicking this is a single beam, so it's a single beam from this end to this end. So these editing you have to do it if you use this quick draw. Again, if there is some places there is no beam, in some places there is no beam, but still it will draw wherever there is a grid. So that problem is there. Again we have to delete that. Otherwise if it is drawn continuously, then you have to split it, okay. Sometimes you have to merge it like this also. So better don't use this quick draw option, better to draw it separately. That will be better. Wherever there is a beam, that location alone you can draw it, so that will be better, okay. So I will delete this whatever the beam I have drawn now. So I'll explain this select option later. Okay. So I have deleted this plinth beam. So now how to draw the beam using this draw option. Draw beam column, that option. So under draw beam or column or brace. So select this option. So there are two levels, right? Plinth beam level and ground floor level. So for plinth beam we are providing a different size beam, okay. That I have to draw separately, and for ground floor there is a separate beam we have defined it here, right? So for plinth beam we have defined as plinth beam 230 by 230 beam. For roof beam we have defined 230 by 300 beam, okay. Okay. So immediately if you give this property page will appear here. So it asks for type of line. So type of line, it's frame. That's only one option. So beam, column, all these things are frame. It comes under frame category, right? So slab, wall and all comes under shell category. So this is frame. So type is frame. So its default frame is only available. Okay. Next is property. So property is whatever the beam sizes we have defined it. So that property you have to choose it. So now I'm going to draw the plinth beam. So plinth beam 230 by 230. Just click this. And moment releases. So moment releases, there are two options, continuous and fixed. Okay. So it is asking for whether it is, it's given here as continuous and pinned. So it's asking for whether the building is fixed or simply supported. Okay. So continuous means it's fixed. Pinned means it's simply supported, right? So continuous means there is no moment releases. So fixed means what? All the three directional moment and all the three direction forces is arrested. So there is no moment release. But for the pinned, yes, moment release is there, right? So that is what it is asking. So this case is normal residential building and it's a fixed one. Okay, so give continuous and plane offset. So plane offset means how we have given the offset distance for drawing the joint. Okay, so same way for beam also, if you want to draw a beam, in this location from this to this, but you want to draw a beam some offset distance. Okay, from here if you want to draw a beam, okay, but moving some distance away from this edge, say for 1000 mm if you want to move and draw it, so in that case you can give plain offset, some distance you can provide it if you want to offset it. But we don't do no offsetting like that. We provide the beam from this grid to this grid only. Okay, we don't there will be no situations for beam offset and all. So always it will be default by 0, and you can also keep it as 0. We need not change. Next is line drawing type. So it's straight line. There are so many options here. Arc and straight line. So these are options. So straight line means straight normal line. Arc means if you want any curved beam, that time you can use this. Okay. So here there is no need of any curved lines. So it's all straight lines. So I am giving as straight lines. If you want to draw any curved beam also, that all we'll see later how to draw the curved beam. But as of now, it's all straight line in this plan. Right. So we can give the straight line. Okay. So after setting these options here, you can draw the beam here. So according to the plan, we have to draw the beam. So here there is a beam, right? From this point to this point. Here there is a beam, here there is a beam. So I will draw according to this plan. So we have to start from grid B, because A grid we have additionally added for the shear wall. So here we are going to provide the shear wall for the lift. Okay, so actual plan is from B grid, right? Okay, so let me draw this. So for drawing, I'm placing this cursor here, so it shows the grid point in red color plus mark, right? So this is the grid point. So you have to click exactly on this grid point. Otherwise, it will draw somewhere. It will not be on the line, right? So grid point, just click this, and wherever you want to end this, again it shows the grid point plus sign. So click here. So I have drawn one beam here. Next up to this point, next this beam, so it is continuously coming, right? So just click this, again click this, again click this. Okay, so if you want to now temporarily disconnect this draw option, so you have to right click this. So after drawing this, you want to disconnect this no draw cursor, and you want to draw the beam somewhere. So in that case you have to right click it. So I am right clicking it, so it will go, right? So I have drawn this portion. Okay, next I will draw this bedroom. So from this point till this point, single beam, and continuously I can draw here. Okay. So again I am clicking right click for disconnecting this. So this bedroom is over. Next, utility area, this portion. Okay, this is over. Next, this bedroom. Next to this hall. Okay, then this portion, this dining area. So important thing is you have to click exactly on the grid point, otherwise it will draw somewhere. And this portion, and this star room. So now I've drawn all these things, all the plinth level beams. Okay, so you can give escape, or you can click here the select cursor alone to come back to the select cursor. So now it is draw. Immediately after drawing, you just click escape, or otherwise you can click this select cursor also. Okay, to come back to the select cursor. Okay, so immediately you can save it. Now I'll show you in a rendered view. Keep it in 3D and click it on view show rendered view. So now as per the plan, we have drawn this beam, right? So this shows the beams, plinth beam level. Okay. So after this, we have to draw the beams at ground floor slab level. Same way you can draw, only the property changes. So again you have to draw it. So go to next level, ground floor slab level. Same way you can draw it. Under draw beam column, draw beam. So here property alone you can change it to roof beam. Roof beam 230 by 230. So this is the problem. Okay, so we have drawn the beams at ground floor level also. Immediately you can save it. So next I will show it in rendered view. Okay, 2 floors we have drawn. So same plan. That's one extra beam here. Okay, sorry, that is bottom floor beam. Okay, so both are same. The thickness is lesser. You can visually see this. Thickness is less for the plinth beam. Okay. So after drawing this, if you want to see the property of any beam, you can just click on this beam. For any beam you can click it, and you have to right click it. After selecting this, just right click. So this beam information it will open. So it will give all the information about this beam. So where the beam is which story and what is the label and the name, and the geometry it will show from which joint to which joint this beam has been, from which joint to which joint, so that node point it will show, and the length, and in assignments it will show the section property. So all these things is shown. These things we'll see later. Right? So end releases, property modifiers, all these things. So we have not it. Okay. So we'll see all these things later. So next is loads. If you have assigned any loads, it will show here, and design tab also. So the beam complete beam information it will show here, and also for joint information also you can see. You can just select this joint and right click it. So joint object information it will show which story and label, same x y z coordinate it will show, and assignments, what is the restraints, all these things it will show here. We will see later about all these things. If you have applied any point load, that also it will show here. So next is column drawing. So for that, draw columns, same option, draw column. Okay, one thing I forgot to tell, in beam you have to keep it as one story. Okay, let me explain that. So there are three options, right, which we have already seen: one story, all story, and similar story. So one story means whatever you draw in that story, it will be drawing it only that story. Okay, so for beam you have to keep it in one story, because plinth beam section property is different. For ground floor slab level, the beam size is different. So you have to compulsorily keep it in one story and draw. If you keep it in all story, whatever you draw in plinth beam, that will be coming in ground floor slab also. Okay, so one story, keep it in one story for beam. For beam, keep it in one story. For column same size throughout the length of the building, right? So for plinth beam level column also same ground floor slab throughout the length of the, throughout the height of the building, same column only. So you can keep it in all story for column, because whatever you draw in plinth level also same, it will be copied in ground floor slab level, I mean ground floor columns also. For column, keep it in all stories. Draw column. Same as column. These options are all same as same as beam. So change it to column. Column 230 by 300. Okay, square column we have defined it. That will be coming in this location. Okay, that will be coming in this location. So later we will draw that. Okay. So for drawing this column, better draw in 3D view. Okay. So where we can provide the column? So we can provide column here, 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 and here, here, here. So I will draw it. So these are the places where we want to provide the column. So at this location, at this location, this location, this location, and this location. So this location, this location, this location, and this location. So I'll draw that. Keep it in all stories. So if I draw in one story, it will be coming in the other story also. One second. Sir, that abnormal condition occurred message often it comes. So can I disconnect the call and
Yes.
continue in RC?
Yes, madam. Okay, okay, that's better. RDP, no? Yeah, yeah, that's
Yes,
better.
yes,
Yes.
yes, sir. Okay,
Yeah,
sir.
you can disconnect and connect the RDP and continue. No problem.
Yes, okay, sir.